Hi everybody, Dave Lakin with VirtuActive 3D Draft and Design here. Wanted to kind of do a quick intro, tell you a little bit about VirtuActive and about a recent trip to Columbus, Ohio to meet with Paul Hansen and his team here at Epcon, his team there at Epcon Franchising, and just kind of fill you in a little about who we are, how we got here, and kind of what transpired. So again, Dave Lakin, co-founder and president of business development here at VirtuActive 3D Draft and Design. Again, we recently flew out to Columbus. We had a really productive day. Got to visit some of the communities, talk with Paul and Caitlin and Rita, the rest of the team. It was really a fantastic day. So I'm excited to talk to you about that, kind of download some of the things we discussed and how to best service the Epcon franchisees on the plan drafting side of things. But a little bit first, like, who is VirtuActive? What are we? How do we get into this whole thing? I thought that'd be important to kind of share with you guys. So first off, we're a full service architectural 3D draft and design firm. So we currently have just under 30 employees. We work with about 120, a little over 120 builders nationally. A lot of them here in the Midwest, but we do work with builders all over the country. Our areas of expertise, we include draft and design in the custom home plan market. That's really the majority of our business, probably about 60% of our business, working with builders and homeowners. We also obviously draft a lot of plans for volume builders, semi-custom builders, working off of base plans, similar to what Epcon is doing in the 55 plus market there. And then we do a lot of modifications of those base plans, as well as a big piece too of what we do on top of all that is we do remodels as well. But we do all of it in 3D. So we use 3D drafting software. It's actually happening throughout the process. It's not just some render you get at the end. We're using 3D throughout the entire plan building process. You can see what's happening. We're sending you the 2D, floor plans as we're designing them. We've got 3D versions of it, so you can really communicate your wants and needs. It's fantastic for the homeowners, but a lot of the builders really enjoy that too. It's really kind of elevated that experience and really helped kind of eliminate some issues later in the field. But anyway, so that's what we do. With everything we do, we also include a 3D visual package. That includes essentially kind of a 2D sales brochure plan, which I'm sure you're familiar with. We also do 3D dollhouse views. You get multiple renders of the exterior and interior, and then you also get a 360-degree video of the home and exterior video, and then also a walkthrough video of the completed home too. So the visual package is really kind of a cool thing. It's great for, putting out on your social media channels, your platforms, your website, everything that you're using there, and really showing off that model. They're very, very high-end videos and renders. So that's what we do. We work with tons of builders. We draw plans every day. They're construction-ready permits. They're construction-ready plans ready for permitting. They're out for your subs to do in the field, do bidding, permitting, the whole 9 yards. So that is 100% what we do, and we've been doing that for about 8 or 9 years now. So a little bit of how Epcon came about. It actually was kind of very organic. We had a couple franchisees not far from us here locally. We're based out of Omaha, Nebraska, if I didn't say that. But they kind of reached out, and they were having some challenges with the drafters or designers or architectural firms that they were using that were just unfamiliar with what Epcon was, all the different plans they had, the elevations, the options, the entire matrix of the system, which is obviously fairly complex. And really, how do they put those in their system? How can they redraw those? How do they draw those and meet some of the needs you've had? And so a lot of what we heard from these franchisees, and obviously many more of you, is that once you kind of got the book of plans from Epcon, obviously they weren't finalized to your local markets, to your own specific builder preferences, or really your, even your local codes. So you're taking them somewhere and trying to find someone to do it, and that's caused some serious pain points, is what's been relayed to us. Hence why we've kind of got on board with Epcon here. A lot of those, for example, could be, not getting site-specific plans. It's a huge book of plans going out there. They're circling different things on them, and it's causing thousands of dollars of errors in the field. They're not built out to their builder preferences. They're not built out to the local codes. There's timeline issues. If they scale, and you're scaling your communities, you have 1 or 2 communities, and your local drafter or architect isn't keeping up. And so you got to go find another drafter and another drafter, and next thing you know, the plans are all different in the field, and it's causing tons of errors and a lot of problems in the field. So those were a lot of what we found that were issues happening. And so we've dealt with this with volume builders before. And so we're like, hey, I think we can solve for this. We've got a team that's big enough to do this. Our team continues to grow. I think we can support this. So I was fortunate to get in contact with Paul through a local franchisee, actually, that put me in touch with Paul. And we had a really great discussion. He shared many of the same issues that he's hearing. They very much aligned that we're hearing from a lot of the franchisees. So we proposed a solution, and that was that we would incur the cost essentially to redraw the library of Epcon plans. We refer to that redraw as phase one, and you can see that in our welcome packet on our website. It really explains that. But phase one, when I say redraw, is they're really only redrawn to about 70%. So, and there is a reason for that. Every builder everywhere, every franchisee in different states, even in different counties, sometimes it's just different everywhere. So what we do is we redraw that first phase to about 70%, and then we have phase two, which is really kind of finalizing those to your builder preferences and your local codes. So what does that mean? We work with each one of you to finalize those redraws and your builder preference, such as, and I wrote some of these down, I-joists or floor trusses, and what size of floor trusses. What kind of roof structure are you using? Are you stick frame? Are you using roof trusses? Are they typical? Are they energy heels? 2x4, 2x6 walls, and exterior and interior walls. What are each floor's plate heights? What kind of foundation type do we have? Is it foundation? Is it slab? Is it something different where we have a basement like a flat walkout or daylight? Is there something else that's been incorporated in the plans? There's quite a few builder preferences. We formed a builder preference form that actually guides you through that and asks you those questions. So you don't have to think of it all on your own. And it really asks you those questions of what we want to do. There's no right or wrong. Each builder has their own preferences. Heck, it can change from builder to builder in the same city. So we ask you to fill that out. That's part of phase two. And then really the second part of phase two is we really need to figure out what Epcon on each plan, what elevations and options you want to select for each plan. So you'll go through that and you'll pick out, do I need elevation A with the bonus room on the portico, for example? What options do I want to do? Which ones are the most popular? Which ones should I start with? So those are the conversations we have. If you're new, if you're existing, you know some of those ones that are good sellers in your area, and we have to essentially build up that options catalog too with your elevations. So while phase one is the redraw, which is the cost we incurred, the really heavy lifting and kind of more intensive part of building the plans out is that phase two, which is where we're building out your specific builder preference. We're doing things to your local codes. That's different everywhere. It's not uncommon in the Carolinas. You might have some different wall bracing because of hurricane codes. There's roof loads in certain areas. There might be different frost footings. I mean, there's things everywhere that are different that just pertain to each area. So we need to incorporate those local codes, incorporate those builder preferences. Let us know what elevations and options you want on the plan, and then we build all that out in phase two for each franchisee. So there's a little heavy lifting there. There's a little investment there to do it. But the end goal is to get to phase three, which is to have site-specific plans with your builder preference, and those are delivered all within 4 business days. Those run about $500, pretty minimal. We basically take all those things, we built out your base plan with your builder preferences and local codes, and now we're putting those pieces of the puzzle together. So you go sell a portico with elevation A, bonus room, and pick your different options, say your kitchen, living room, screen porch, whatever you're doing. On the outside, bottom line is you pick your options, we put the puzzle pieces together and kick that out to you, and you literally are gonna end up with a site-specific plan, get rid of all the rest of the noise, specific to that lot that homeowner decided to purchase, and that plan is going out to the field. You're not getting it from multiple drafters, you're getting it from one drafting service, so all your notes, your details, your dimensions, everything's in the same place. It really cuts down a lot of the mistakes and errors in the field, which really end up costing you, a lot of money. I mean, you're talking hundreds of dollars now, you might be talking thousands of dollars of mistakes in the field. So the point is to get you something quickly and timely, so once this is built out, you can go out there, sell your homes, build your development out, move on to the next development and go do it, and you're not worried about the plan side of things. We've got that built out and we go. That's really what we busted our butt on for about the last 2 to 3 years, to really kind of fine tune that and build that out. It's something that we're familiar with. It's why when you probably are going to your local architects or drafting firms, it's very foreign to them. They don't know what it's about. There's a lot of costs incurred. They don't have it figured out typically. We found that it was much harder to build this matrix out than it ever was to design our highest end custom home we ever did. I mean, there's a lot going on, and it is a little bit there's, like I said, different phases to it. So the phase one of just getting the standard plans kind of drawn, but then there is some heavy lifting with the builder preference and local codes to make it specific to each of your areas for permitting and to bid them correctly. So that's what that is. So I just wanted to give you that kind of, it's a lot, I know, but it took a lot to get there and build it. But boy, I think we really built it in a really good place to really service everybody. So, and do their best job to do that. So just kind of visiting the recent visit. So yeah, a couple Fridays ago, I had the opportunity to visit, fly out to Columbus, Ohio, visited with Paul and Caitlin's fantastic, Paul's fantastic, Rita's fantastic. That's who I spent time with. Just an amazing team. Very, very passionate about Epcon and what they're doing with the franchisees. You guys are in really good hands with them. But yeah, so we walked through the system that we created. We went into a lot more detail with them of what we were doing. Really the largest point of conversation is what a lot of you found out when we were at conference this year, if you had a chance to meet us and you guys heard this, was the introduction of some updates to their plans, which they haven't done in over a decade. So, you know, as you guys know, one of Paul's mantras is kind of looking forward, don't look behind, don't look backwards. So we're really working together with them. They've kind of got this S series or P series, as you know it, pretty much done. Those are ready to go. So we're currently in the midst of working through those and kind of redrawing those on our end. The R series will be done soon, and we'll get those in our system for those of you that'll be doing the 2023s, you know, here in the future. For the, let's call it the 2022s and before, we do have those redrawn. So really the big intention that we talked about with Paul and the team was, you know, as these plans get finished up and moving forward in the next year and years ahead, really moving new developments to the new plans, and we'll call them the 2023 plans and forward, and then existing franchisees, you know, working off the 2022s, and I shouldn't even say existing franchisees, I should say existing developments, really working off of those. And if you're in that existing development, continue working off those plans that you had. Or if you're having those same issues, we do have those set up so you can transition to us if you're in the midst of that development. We're working with a lot of existing franchisees in existing developments that are working off of the 2022 plan. So yes, we absolutely serve those. That's actually been the bulk of our business now. We haven't started the 2023 stuff yet. So, but the point is we've kind of got those two things happening. They're happening really at the same time. We've got 2022 done. We've had those done. We're working with multiple franchisees on those. Thankful for the franchisees that have come on board with us to service you. And the 2023s are being done for those that are going to be, you know, eventually doing the 2023 plans. So we're in a really good place with all that. I think we're really aligned. I think that's probably the most important part, is really being aligned with Paul and the team up there to make sure that we are, you know, I'm kind of cheating here. I'm reading some bullet points, but I wrote this down, is I can't overstate, you know, how important it is to have this intentional and collaborative relationship with Paul, Caitlin, Rita, and the rest of the Epcon team, and with the franchisees. I mean, aligning with their vision, your goals. It's crucial in us being able to serve you in the best of our ability. We can't do our job the best we can if we don't understand what you guys are trying to accomplish and what your goals are. And I think this trip really helped in getting more aligned there. So we're excited about that. We're excited to serve you guys. You know, kind of wrap things up, you know, as you know, you guys have probably been getting some emails from us here this last year, especially this last 6 months, especially since conference. Morgan, she's incredible. She's our marketing coordinator. She does all the behind the scenes of getting that stuff going, get kind of the ideas going out to you guys. So we're really been trying to educate you, let you know who we are, what we're doing, what the process looks like. So she's done a fantastic job with that. We have a welcome packet on our website. If you just go to VirtuActive.com, you literally can go to Epcon Franchising, and there's a welcome packet built for you guys on there. And it really explains our entire process. So, you know, I suggest you take a look at that. Strongly encourage you to give you guys a call to me, again, one of the owners and one of the co-founders. This is what I do every day. And let's get on the phone and let's talk through, where are your challenges? Can we be a solution for that if you're having those challenges? I believe we can. And really, what does that look like to service you, and what does that time frame look like? Because there is, you know, probably a 6, 8, 10-week time frame to build, depending on the number of options and elevations you're doing, to build out your specific plans, finalize that piece. There's obviously an investment there, but then afterwards, it's about just selling your homes and getting site-specific plans to you, and we'll crush that. So that's really what we do. Call me for a discovery call. We're really excited to talk to you about the next steps, what it looks like. And really our goal here is to be the best of service. However we can serve you guys the best of our ability, we want to do. So, you know, I really want to kind of wrap up too with, I really want to thank, you know, some of the franchisees, Kyle Kelly with Kelly Construction, was one of the first folks that we got in touch with this. Pete Cat and his team here locally have been instrumental in putting us in contact with Paul and the team there. And I'd be short-sighted not to mention, Brock and Bo over at New Style Communities. They were really big last year in transitioning their whole plans over. A lot of what we're talking about, a lot of the pain points they had were them working with multiple drafters and having a lot of those issues and errors. And it's some work working through that with the existing ones and plans you have. But boy, we got there and we're in a really good place, and they're just knocking stuff out of the park. So. Thank you to them, and thank you to Paul and Caitlin and Rita and the team up there in Columbus. You guys are fantastic. Look forward to working with you guys more. I look forward to speaking with so many more of you. Please call. Worst thing you do is find out more information, and maybe we're the right fit, maybe we're not. Maybe we're a solution to some of the pain points you have. But we're really working our tails off here to do the best we can for you and by you. So look forward to talking to you guys. Have a great week, and God bless.